She walked into the wrong suite by mistake. What she didn't know was that the man inside ruled Miami's underworld. One glance was enough to seal her fate, because the Korean Mafia boss never lets accidents walk away.
I can't let you go.
Then hold me tighter.
Please like and subscribe, it helps the channel. The Miami heat clung to Zendaya's skin like a second layer as she fumbled with her keycard outside Suite 2407. Her arms ached from lugging her art supplies through the luxury hotel, and sweat beaded along her hairline despite the building's aggressive air conditioning. She'd been invited to showcase her work at Art Basel, and the gallery had arranged this accommodation. Her first taste of real luxury after years of sleeping on studio floors and eating ramen. The keycard blinked red. Again. "Come on," she muttered, swiping it a third time. The lock finally clicked green, and she shouldered the door open with relief, dragging her canvas bag behind her. The suite was dark, illuminated only by the Miami skyline glittering through floor-to-ceiling windows. Something felt off immediately. Too quiet, too pristine. The air smelled of expensive cologne and gun oil, a combination her artist's nose cataloged instantly as wrong. She was reaching for the light switch when a voice cut through the darkness like a blade. "Don't move." Zendaya froze, her hand suspended mid-air. The voice was male, calm, with an accent that wrapped around the English words like silk over steel. Korean, she thought, though she'd never heard one quite like this. It carried the kind of authority that made disobedience seem like a terminal mistake. The lights blazed on. A man sat in the leather armchair facing the door, positioned as though he'd been waiting for exactly this intrusion. He was devastatingly beautiful in the way dangerous things often are, sharp jawline, dark eyes that assessed her with predatory intelligence, black hair swept back from a face that could have been carved from marble. He wore a white dress shirt rolled to his elbows, revealing forearms marked with intricate tattoos that disappeared beneath the fabric. A gun rested casually on the armrest beside his right hand. Zendaya's voice came out as a croak. She cleared her throat. "I think I have the wrong room." "You think?" His lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. He tilted his head, studying her with the focus of someone who made his living reading people. "Or you know." "I definitely know now." She took a careful step backward, hyper-aware of the gun. "The keycard worked, so I assumed." He lifted the gun, and Zendaya's heart stopped. But he merely turned it in his hand, examining it as if he'd never seen it before. "Dangerous thing, assumptions. This hotel has substandard security. Your keycard was programmed incorrectly. My people will have words with management." "Your people?" The question slipped out before Zendaya could stop it. His eyes snapped to hers, and she saw amusement flicker in their depths. "You don't know who I am. Should I?" "Most people in Miami would." He set the gun down and stood in one fluid motion. He was taller than she'd expected, moving with the controlled grace of someone trained in violence. "I'm Seo Jun." He said it like that should mean something. When Zendaya's face remained blank, his almost smile deepened into something genuine. "And you are leaving," Zendaya said, gripping her bag tighter. "I'm definitely leaving. You haven't told me your name." He moved closer, not threatening exactly, but with an intensity that made the air feel thinner. "You break into my suite, see my face, and you think I'll just let you walk away without knowing who you are?" Fair point, terrifying as it was. "Zendaya, I'm an artist, here for Art Basel. This is literally just a mix-up. I'm supposed to be in 2470, not 2407. Transposed numbers. I'm an idiot. An artist." Seo Jun stopped a few feet away, his gaze traveling over her paint-stained jeans, the oversized denim jacket covered in pins and patches, the box braids piled high on her head. His expression shifted to something she couldn't read. "What kind of art? Is this really relevant to you not killing me?" "I'm not going to kill you." He sounded almost offended. "I don't kill artists. They're too rare, too precious." "What kind?" The absurdity of the situation hit her. Standing in a stranger's hotel suite, discussing her work while he stood next to a gun. But something in his eyes made her answer honest. Mixed media. I paint black experiences, black joy. I work with acrylics, collage, sometimes sculpture. Currently, I'm doing a series on displaced beauty, finding art in unexpected places. Displaced beauty, Seojun repeated softly. Ironic, given your current displacement. Despite everything, Zendaya laughed, came out slightly hysterical. Yeah, well, I don't think stumbling into a Korean gangster's hotel room was what my muse had in mind. Mafia, he corrected. And how did you know? The gun was a hint. The tattoos. The way you carry yourself like you own everything you see. And you said your people would have words with management. That's not normal guest complaint language. She paused. Also, you just confirmed it. His laugh surprised her. Deep, genuine, transforming his face from dangerous to devastating. Smart. I like that. He walked to the bar and poured 2 glasses of whiskey without asking if she wanted one. Since you're here, and since I've decided you're not a threat, have a drink with me. That's not how being held at gunpoint usually ends. I never pointed it at you. I simply had it. He offered her a glass. There's a difference. Zendaya knew she should leave. Every survival instinct screamed at her to grab her bag and run. But something else stirred beneath the fear. Curiosity. The same impulse that made her stop on street corners to photograph rust patterns on gates. That made her see beauty in broken things. She took the glass. 3 hours later, Zendaya sat on Seojun's balcony. The Miami skyline painting itself in shades of gold and crimson as dawn approached. They'd talked through the night, about art, about beauty, about the strange spaces between cultures. He'd asked questions about her work with an intensity that suggested he actually cared about the answers. And she'd found herself explaining her creative process to someone who listened like every word mattered. My father wanted me to be a doctor, she said, swirling the last of her whiskey. He couldn't understand why I choose a life where success is measured in gallery shows instead of paychecks. We don't really speak anymore. My father wanted me dead, Seojun replied matter-of-factly. I fulfilled his wish in a manner of speaking. I killed the son he wanted me to be and became this instead. Zendaya turned to look at him. He'd shed the dangerous edge somewhere around hour 2, or maybe she'd just become accustomed to it. Now he seemed almost human, though she suspected that was exactly what made him so dangerous. The ability to make you forget what he was. Does it bother you? She asked. What you do. Does it bother you? He countered. That I do what I do? I don't even know what you do. Not really. I run an organization that operates outside legal boundaries. We traffic in influence, in power, in things the world needs but prefers not to acknowledge. I make decisions that affect thousands of lives. Sometimes I make decisions that end lives. He said it without pride or shame, just fact. Does that bother you? It should have. Zendaya knew it should have sent her running. But something about his honesty, the lack of pretense, intrigued her more than it repelled her. I think, she said slowly, that people are more complicated than the worst things they do. Careful, Seojun warned, but his eyes were warm. That kind of thinking could get you into trouble. I'm already in trouble. I'm drinking whiskey at dawn with Miami's most dangerous Korean mafia boss. Second most dangerous. My sister would kill me if I claimed the top spot. That surprised a laugh out of her. You have a sister? Had. She runs Seoul now. We had a disagreement about expansion strategies. The way he said it suggested the disagreement had involved significantly more than a boardroom debate. I chose Miami because it's warm, and because no one expects much from the Korean community here. We're invisible. Invisible is useful. I know something about being invisible, Zendaya murmured, and about being hypervisible at the same time. Seojun's hand found hers on the armrest, his fingers warm against her skin. The touch sent electricity up her arm. I see you, he said quietly. Completely. And you're extraordinary. The moment stretched between them, heavy with possibility and danger. Zendaya knew she should pull away. Instead, she turned her hand over, lacing her fingers through his. This is insane, she whispered. Yes, he agreed. But what's life without a little insanity? The kiss, when it came, felt inevitable. A collision of worlds that should never have touched. His lips were soft against hers, gentle in a way that contradicted everything else about him. Zendaya felt herself falling into it, into him, into the vast unknown of whatever this was becoming. When they finally pulled apart, the sun had fully risen, painting the sky in impossible colors. "I need to go," Zendaya said, though she didn't move. "I have a showing tonight." "I know. I looked you up while you were in the bathroom." At her expression, he shrugged unapologetically. "I make it my business to know things. You're more successful than you let on. The Smithsonian featured your work last year." "Stalker much?" "Thoroughly." He stood, pulling her up with him. "I want to buy a piece." "You haven't even seen my work." "I've seen you. That's enough." He pulled out his phone, typed something quickly. "I've sent a deposit to your website. Pick whichever piece speaks to you. I want something that matters. Co. June. Say yes to dinner after your showing. Tomorrow night. Let me take you somewhere beautiful." Every rational thought told her to refuse. But standing there in the morning light, her hand still in his, Zendaya felt more alive than she had in years. Sometimes art required risk. Sometimes beauty lived in the most displaced, unexpected places. "Yes," she heard herself say. Tomorrow night. The gallery thrummed with Miami's art elite. Collectors in designer suits, critics with practiced boredom, trust fund bohemians in deliberately distressed vintage. Zendaya moved through the crowd in a gold silk jumpsuit that made her skin glow, accepting compliments and deflecting questions about inspiration with practiced ease. But her attention kept drifting to the entrance, waiting for someone who probably wouldn't come, who definitely shouldn't come. Then he was there. Co. June entered like he owned the gallery, flanked by two men in dark suits who radiated controlled menace. But it was him everyone's eyes tracked, devastating in tailored black, his presence commanding the room without effort. He found Zendaya across the crowd, and the intensity of his gaze made her breath catch. He moved through the exhibition slowly, studying each piece with genuine attention. She watched him stop before her favorite, a large canvas titled Displaced Royalty, showing a black woman in traditional African dress sitting on a Miami bus, her crown of flowers refusing to acknowledge the ordinariness of her surroundings. When he finally reached her, his first words were, "This one. This is the one I want." "That's not for sale," Zendaya said automatically. "That's my personal." "I know. That's why I want it." He stepped closer, and the noise of the gallery faded. "Everything else here is beautiful, Zendaya, but this piece is you. Royalty refusing to be diminished by displacement. Beauty insisting on itself against all context. You can't have it. Name your price." "It's not about money." She met his eyes. "That piece is about knowing your worth even when the world tries to tell you otherwise. It's about carrying your crown even when no one else can see it." "I can't sell that." Co. June's expression softened into something vulnerable, almost wounded. "Then paint me another. Something new. Something just for me. Commission work takes months. I have time. I'm not going anywhere." He took her hand, right there in the middle of the gallery, proprietary and impossible to ignore. "Paint me something that shows how you see beauty in displaced things. Paint me the story of an artist who walked into the wrong room and found something unexpected." A woman in Chanel appeared at Zendaya's elbow. "Ms. Richards? There are collectors asking about the Miami series." She stopped, her eyes widening as she recognized Co. June. The color drained from her face. "Mr. Han, I didn't realize you were interested in art." "I'm interested in many things, Mrs. Montgomery. Your husband's business ventures, for instance. How is his shipping company faring?" The question sounded casual, but Mrs. Montgomery's panic suggested otherwise. She excused herself quickly, practically fleeing. "Was that necessary?" Zendaya asked once they were alone. "Her husband runs drugs through his shipping containers. He pays me for protection and access to my distribution networks. She knows what he is." Co. June turned back to the painting. "Everyone in this room has something to hide, Zendaya. You think these people buy art because they love it? They buy it to launder money, to appear cultured, to hide their wealth in assets that don't raise flags. At least I'm honest about what I am." "You're a criminal." "Yes, And you're falling for me anyway. He said it without arrogance, just certainty. I see it in how you looked for me tonight, in how you're not pulling away even though you should. You feel it too. This impossible thing between us. Zendaya wanted to deny it, but standing there surrounded by her art, by everything she'd built through years of struggle and sacrifice, she recognized the truth. She was falling, had been falling since the moment she'd walked into the wrong room and found him waiting. This can't work, she said quietly. Our worlds are the same world, just different perspectives on it. He cupped her face with surprising gentleness. You paint beauty in broken places. I find power in chaos. We're not so different. I create. You destroy. I protect. I build empires. I make impossible things happen. His thumb traced her cheekbone. Let me make this impossible thing happen. Say yes to tomorrow. Say yes to seeing where this goes. Around them, the gallery pulsed with Miami's elite. None of them knowing they stood feet away from the city's most dangerous man. Zendaya thought about displaced beauty, about finding art in unexpected places. Thought about the way Seojun had listened to her talk about her work like it mattered, the way he saw her, really saw her, in a way few people ever had. Yes, she whispered, but if you break my heart, I'm painting the most devastating revenge portrait ever created. His laugh was pure joy. If I break your heart, I'll deserve whatever masterpiece you create. He kissed her then, soft and promising, sealing something neither of them fully understood, but both were willing to risk everything to explore. When he left, flanked by his guards, Zendaya sold 7 paintings in the next hour. But she couldn't stop thinking about the one piece that wasn't for sale, and the man who'd understood exactly why it mattered. Tomorrow night loomed ahead, full of possibility and danger, and she found herself counting the hours until she could fall a little further into this beautiful, terrifying mistake. Sometimes the wrong door led to exactly the right place. Sometimes love looked like risk dressed in expensive tailoring. And sometimes, an artist found her most important work wasn't on canvas at all, but in the courage to paint outside the lines of everything she thought she knew. Please like and subscribe and check out our channel for more interesting stories.